Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I'm going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the finale for season 9. Ooh, they just moving along, ain't they? Ooh, Karen and Stacey going at it. Karen and Mia going at it. Who else going at it? We about to see Wendy get in the fray. Child, Wendy, child. Listen. I like how Wendy is taking all of this in, okay? Because she got big plans that don't include penitentiary bars. I'm just saying, some folks need to really, see the forest and trees. Because child, folks is getting revealed and big things is happening for certain folks. And Poe just hell, child. She just going through with her daddy and everything. But listen. Let's dive in. So listen, Karen, she getting ready for Stacey's event. She decides to go, even though she texted Stacey all of what she said about not participating. But Karen wants to give back because she's also adopting dogs with some issues pertaining to, let me see, the integrity of the actual animals and protecting them by adopting them. It's some real, controversial thing going on with these dogs. I never heard of this, but then again, we did hear about certain folks eating. No, I'm not. Hold on. I'm not talking about what that fool was talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about another country. How we, hear about dogs getting cooked and carrying on. Listen, other countries have other tastes, and I'm not condemning it. I'm not saying nothing about what's going on with this food that was just elected. I'm talking about what we heard over the years, in certain cases where dogs are being rescued for various reasons. And one of those reasons is to protect them from getting ate up. So I just wondered exactly how did Karen find this? It's some shelter situation. Anyway, these poor animals, they just going through either that they being railroaded or treated wrong, just like people. There's some really tacky, stank folks out here. Either they messing with animals, messing with kids, messing with old folks, messing with people that's not like them. I mean, it's some real stank folks in this world. Child. Let me get back to this show because, so Karen decides to go. She's asking Ray, what should she wear? And then Wendy calls and invites her to the White House because, Karen invited Wendy to her Surrey County extravaganza of sorts where she was awarded something or another. Child, I forgot. Now we see Stacey having lunch with AJ, her BFF of old. And then TJ calls and AJ is turned all the way off. AJ started to call him Jay or then he said, oh, no, I mean TJ. And then TJ starts making a scene pretty much, making it real uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I mean, dang, TJ. It ain't like, so anyway, AJ was turned all the way off. And he starts questioning Stacey about who is this dude? I mean, I know he got money, right? Because I know you. She's like, well, he's an actor. She didn't say he got money. She just wants to, soften the blow, saying he's an actor. So, we can all assume what that means. We can all guess. But pretty much she's saying he's an actor and he gets money when he can. And AJ's like, what? This ain't the girl I knew from talking about she came from all this wealth. Now you want to dig in the garbage can? Pretty much is what he's saying, y'all. He just don't see it for, he's questioning Stacey's whole situation. Talking about you have a child You should go from money bag to money bag, and I agree. I'm not saying that TJ, hey, we don't know what. Well, anyway, child. Moving on. AJ don't see it for TJ. Next, we see Ashley's aunt's birthday. Her Uncle Lump's wife, I guess what was her name, Monica? Something. They at her house. And then her mom comes in and she's going over the healthy thing because her mom is going through with cardiovascular issues. And so she's just trying to get her mom healthier with what's some people called? A specialist, somebody who can help her with her meal plans and things. And her mama love the rice, and we all know what rice do, child. Turn into sugar turn into what? The beaties. So listen, if we don't work it off, it is a carb. However, it turns right into sugar. So if you didn't know, now you know. Also, while they're toasting, the aunt actually dips in a little bit and says that, she's also almost divorced from Michael. Girl. Then they start reminiscing about what they done told her about Michael, talking about he wants somebody he can control, not someone with their own mind who does something different. And that's pretty much what's going on. And then they toast and everything and saying it's all in front of the kids, child, like these kids don't understand what you're talking about. Then Josh calls and she hides Josh from the kids. Usually whoever calls, they get to say hi to everybody. Pretty much she shows the adults who Josh is. Hey, because he's FaceTiming. But she won't allow the kids to FaceTime with Josh. She lets the kids know, oh, that's mommy's coworker. And they just gone about their business. All right, Ashley. Next, we see Gizzhell and her kids. They're trying to plant a tree in honor of her dad because it's Christmas time, dang near, and this is what he always did with her and her children. So she's feeling sentimental, and the whole tree, child, they put, the girl said let's get some water. Gizzhell didn't get no water. She just thought she can break ground with a shovel without any type of wetting of the foundation, no type of, and then she just sits the tree on top with a little dent that she made and puts the nameplate next to it and says she'll have somebody else do it. I guess she just wanted to show, folks what's going on. I guess, child. Kids complain they're getting dirt on their clothes. Girl, what did you expect coming out here in the dirt to plant a tree? But I get it. If you don't want to do it, you should have just said, I don't want to do it. But, it's for Pops. They call them Pops. Rest in peace to Pops. Then we see Wendy, her family, and Karen at the White House to interview the press secretary of the United States, Karine Jean-Pierre, the first Pan-African queer female to lead that position. Because everybody, she was like the 35th or the 36th time. Well, the 35th or 36th position, that's her. So everybody before her didn't look like her. Of course, they were all, Caucasian, either men or women. But I think the first time she said they didn't look like her. But if I'm not mistaken, was that woman, was she Latina? The one who was with that fool the first time he was elected? It was a woman who was, heavy set, heavy set, black hair, rude. I'm just saying, whoever she was. Anyway, pretty much no one, it was a lot of shade of Manila just going on. And she just made it known that, she was the right one for the job, but she knows at this point, it's after the election because she's referencing how she knows that she will not have this job anytime soon. So, things going to change again. Sure, ain't that nothing? Ain't we going through? We going through. And it's only been what? It ain't been 30 days yet, child. What else going on before I start getting upset? So, yeah, they're filming for season 2 of Dr. Wendy show. I haven't even watched that. It's on YouTube. It's on. I'm going to tune in tomorrow and see what's going on. Next, we see Stacey's event prep. She just got there. They're going over things, her and TJ. and the event planner, and they're going to have some really cute confetti come down at the end, and they're getting all the things ready, and the ladies start to arrive a little later. And so pretty much, the things get started. Stacey got some things to say from what Karen told her. Karen pulls Stacey aside and wants to know. No, excuse me. When Karen gets there, Stacey pulls Karen aside, in their cute little corner in the dark somewhere, and just wants to know what's the problem. She got the text. She's glad she arrived. And then Karen says, to support her and defend Mia against her is really not cool. And Stacey was like, well, I supported you at first, but I didn't like how you came at Mia. I have an affinity for Mia, and I didn't like how you came at her, especially about her kids. I think you should have pulled her aside outside of the group, like she said before, but in front of everybody, like embarrassing her, and she didn't agree with it. Child. I guess Stacey said, she defended Karen at first, but she don't like it when you bring up cheering. Child. She's pretty much said it's off limits. Karen sees backstabbing tendencies, and so she put her on pause as a friend. She's an acquaintance now. Stacey's like, are you serious? And then Karen starts to insult her looks, and she's like, oh no, the face card don't decline, baby. No. Then Karen said, no, your clothing, because it's all about the beauty with Stacey. Stacey relies on her beauty to get her through, which is why she's been successful on the what's that show, QVC or something. Anyway, or was she a weather girl too? Anyway, those types. The not the Wheel of Fortune chap, like the Vanna White types, the girls from The Price Are Right. That's something, if you don't know now, it's like that's the Stacey type. Child, please. What else happened, child? Oh yeah, she called. Oh yeah, I said she called Stacey's fashions raggedy. Child, not raggedy. Karen was just trying to go off on Stacey, but Stacey really wasn't seeing all that. Then Karen kind of brought up some issues that Stacey may have in court. And Stacey was like, I've never been in court. I beg your pardon. And then in the confessional, Karen said that Stacey got some traffic moving violations, going through the same stop sign 3, 4, 5 times. Girl, Karen, don't bring up nobody's moving violations. Stick to the rivers and lakes that you and the bars that you're going to be poking out of in a minute. Because, child, this is wrong road, Karen. Wrong. In more ways than one. It's the wrong doggone road for you to be going through. So then Gizzhell comes over, interrupts them, and she actually catches Stacey's eye because Stacey realized the dress Gizzhell was in. Gizzhell brought the dress from from Vivian's, where they did a flashback. Stacey was telling everybody, don't buy that dress over there because I don't want anyone looking better than me. And that's the dress that Gizzhell heard Stacey talk about, and that's the dress Gizzhell went back and bought. And Gizzhell laughed about it because that's how trifling Gizzhell can be. I mean, it's a tulle dress. If you know tulle, it's a chiffon and fluffy and everything, but it didn't. I mean, we didn't see it all. We just saw like pretty much the waist up. We saw how a little bit of the train, but I mean, I didn't like the color against Gizzhell. I thought it was the wrong, like a mauve purple, lavender, light lavender. It didn't look good on her skin tone and all that because she needs more earth tones because she has a brown and gold hair. So all of that mixed in with purple just don't look good. Pretty much the basic, light purple. It didn't. I don't like the color on her. Maybe like an orange or a yellow. Like I said, more of the earth tone family. Red, something like that. Anywho, so they start barging in on everything, and then they kind of switch to Keiarna and talking about her and Greg or in their personal spaces. They can't agree to some things. We already knew, girl. Sorry, boo, but that's a disaster waiting to happen. I'm sorry. So then everybody's sitting next to each other, and Stacey tells everybody, how, Karen talked greasy about Wendy as Wendy comes in. Now, first, Ashley is telling Gizzhell what Stacey said, what Stacey told her about what Karen was talking greasy about Wendy. And then from that, they go ask Karen about what Stacey said, because that's what Ashley had a conversation with Stacey about. Child. Gizzhell had the nerve to say, well, see, in the confessional, see, this is what Karen does. She brings the girls in, get her riled up around her, and then lets her down if the girl doesn't really fit the mold to what Karen wants. Both of y'all do that? It's called hazing. Hello? Y'all do it differently, but don't act like you don't do something similar. Hypocrite? Mm-mm. And then we see Eddie bring Stacey some edibles. And Stacey can't wait to go try some weed edibles. Child, talking about, oh, I can go upstairs and take a bite. Girl, you probably own something now. So then they all get together, like I said, and Stacey is letting the girls know because Wendy arrives. Wendy looks bad, like bad to the bone, that dress and everything. Stacey lets people know what Karen said at lunch and pretty much confirming that Ashley was correct. Pretty much Ashley was telling Karen what Stacey had said about what Karen was mentioning about Wendy, and Wendy was looking like, oh, really? She didn't say much other than, making fun of how she's cool on all of this conversation. And she said to Karen, even she said, it really is disappointing to hear that this thing that you might have said could be true. Girl, really? Is that what we're doing because you're on reality TV? But in the confessional, Wendy says she sure enough believes it. And pretty much to be self-absorbed, as Karen said to Stacey, and also to be, not a fit for this group. Well, we heard that when Wendy's first season. Remember that, y'all? But this new thing about being self-absorbed and everything, but that's the same thing Karen defended Wendy about from Gizzhell and Robin when they said that about her then, when Wendy got her cosmetic surgery. So, it's probably true. Was Karen drinking when she said it? If she was drinking, definitely she said it. I believe it. But if she wasn't drinking, I'm pretty sure she said it. Hell, if Wendy believe it, I believe it. How about that? I can't get no more mad about it than Wendy. So I'm whatever Wendy say about it. That's where I'm at. What else happened, child? So yeah, so Stacey's is going on and Karen is denying it. Karen asked Wendy, does she believe it? And then that's when Wendy just excused herself, her and Ashley and Stacey. And they just went up to change because, Wendy had to change her clothes so she could walk this dog and not get this outfit messed up. So yeah. Then we cut to see the guys talking about Darrius's and Jassi's never wedding date. They making jokes because they keep asking him, so when y'all getting married? And he keep him and everything about the wedding date. Child, I hope they get married. I hope that all that mess going on with his kid's mother is settled. And we all know what that was about, child. But the kid's mother was, that old thing, that whole situation's old and dusty. So we're gonna leave that where it's at. So, like I said, Wendy states to Karen to be faithful to her and have her back like she has hers, and that's what she expects Karen to do. I know that's right. And then Stacey says she has more tea, and then Gizzhell was like, spill it. But then declares Karen said what she said, and that's that on that. Stacey said it said 10 toes down. And that's that. So next we have the dog show. And chaos ensues. It was going good until that smoke machine happened. Because see, confetti was supposed to come down, not a smoke machine. And child, the smoke machine just made the dogs go haywire. Next thing you know, these dogs are scared. And you know what happens when you're scared? You get the BGs, the bubble guts. Can you imagine all these dogs with bubble guts? People can't step where they want to step. People running, people smelling stuff they don't want to smell. Why Karen start vomiting? And It ain't funny. But she found a trash. It was just convenient. She had to go somewhere outside get some air. But before she can reach outside, Wendy pretty much ran outside because it was just that much air. And, because, you got the Putin. And see, a dog's fart is disgusting. I'm getting nauseous just thinking about it. Really, I am. But then you got the number 2 also. Poor Karen. She's vomiting it all in the trash can. And then we find out that Mia adopted a dog. Also, Wendy adopted a dog also. So it was incest for at least 2 people. And then they start showing the end credits. Child, Keiarna moved out. She's still fucking Josh and she's still married. The marriage is still going on, child. Then we see Gizzhell kids all gone on to college and she started fucking on Nancy. She called him up, hey, the kids gone, come on through. Then we see Wendy. She's teaching a class on reality TV at, let me see if I can say this name, Wesleyan, Wesleyan University. Good for her. She's teaching again. Stacey is almost divorced. She's looking to get, some DICK in 2025, child. We're going to find out. And then we see, of course, we heard on the blogs, Mia broke up with ink because we all know ink can be erased. And then she spent the holidays with G and the kids. Yeah, we heard all that, blah, blah, blah. Then, Karen. They bring up the DUI video, child. They bring up the conviction. Ooh, child, guilty. And then she went to rehab and got the sentencing delayed. Then they said she was in rehab for 2 weeks. I was, child, I don't know about 2-week rehab. I don't know about that. She could have at least 30 to 60 days. Have Ray put up in a cute little Airbnb next door somewhere real close by so they can still see each other. He can visit her as often as possible so they're not alone from each other. And, maybe get a little wet nurse or something to help them, or have Raven come and stay with. I don't know anything, but I don't think she was in rehab long enough to be quite honest. But then again, maybe court required her to come out. I don't know. But that was it, y'all. That was the season 9 finale of Real Housewives of Potomac. Next week is going to be reunion time. Child, it's going to be juicy. I let it juice. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch you next time. Bye. All day.